You change your look, Millie.
Yes, a little bit.
That's good. You look good. Okay, so
Thank you.
so have you seen this phenomenon, teachers, that one group conducts, in a very indisciplinedly form with you, and then the other teacher, the Spanish, the math, the history teacher walks in and they're all quiet, and they almost walk in, the teacher walks in and everybody kisses his hand and el padrino, por favor, pase, It's a very interesting phenomenon to English teachers. Have you seen that, Marta? You're nodding. Tell me your experience. Or maybe you're still a student, so maybe you do that. Tell us.
Yes, I do that, but when I was a teacher, I don't have much control of group control, so I need to ask for my partners how to get to the students pay attention. So maybe everyone tell me about my age or my personality, so maybe was that, but I need to create more group control, sorry.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't really have to do with personality. You never change that, eh? Believe me, Marta. That's your core, your essence. It has to do more with techniques.
Okay.
And having your Magnum 44 and your sleep and just kidding. but yeah, it's more than techniques. In fact, your personality, Marta, you have a very beautiful smile.
Thank you.
So that should be your weapon.
Okay.
See what I mean? That should be the students drawing to you. But we will discuss that in a moment, okay?
Okay.
So
teacher.
hello, Liliana. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I understand. All right, so let's talk about group control and classroom. I do have a theory about this on why English teachers suffer from indiscipline in the classroom. I'm going to discuss the topic from the book, and then later on we can discuss it from our perspective. Okay. So this is look at the picture. And I promise you, Fabiola, that you're going to be this person in one point of your career, your teaching career, okay? So, but that's okay. It's part of learning, it's part of living. I know Rosario has been there many times. And so it's part of it, okay? And look what it says. Can you read this, Fabiola, the first point?
Yes, introduction. Keeping our students focused and interested in the class, as well as maintaining a good pace in a given lesson can be very difficult sometimes for most of us as a teachers. It takes one element to knock a flowing lesson out of control.
Very good. Do you agree with that? Teachers, everybody? Yes, of course. One thing is to draw attention and then warm up and in a movie clip and whatever, in a song, and then a whole different stories to keep them the whole class, right? And it takes one element to cause anarchy and chaos in your class, okay? So what can we do? Well, can you read this? Who's Florencia? Hello, Florencia. Oh, okay. Hello, Brian. How you doing? Can you read this, Rosario?
Sure. Losing class control typically happens because something in the lesson plan doesn't speak to the students. Some areas of the classroom management plan need reinforcing.
Okay, very good. So some areas in the lesson plan doesn't speak to the student. That's the first point. And look in the sentence in the bottom of the slide. Some years ago, I went to a seminar, well, many years ago. I went to a seminar from Cambridge and Mazatlan, I believe. Yes. And it was all about group control. And the first premise they said, teachers' preparations is 80% indiscipline. Out of your indiscipline in the classroom, okay, 80% is your fault. And I felt offended, you know, like, I'm a teacher, I'm an experienced teacher, you mother son of a, you know. And but you know, while the speakers, and there were several speakers, developed the seminar, I understood 80% of indiscipline is because of you. The rest 20% is out of your hand. They explain 5%, or you know, 10%, let's say, is institution's problem, which is not your, you know, problem, and it's out of your hand. And they explain several scenarios. For example, it's very different to teach a class at 7 in the morning than the last hour. In the last hour, they don't even pay attention to you, you know, bottom line. You know, they just want to get out of there. Or remember that back in the days when we were in the classroom and we had classes right after recess? Those were even worse, you know, all smelly, popped up in sugar, you know, and it's different, you know, but that's out of your hand. You can't control that. Or you know, it's sad to say, and I'm going to say it, I don't care. Institutions, some institutions, I don't want to say names, but like TKT Monterrey and all those kind of institutions have given lots of power to students. Lots of power to students. So you may be very upset and having punishments and consequences to indiscipline, but the institution don't back up. That's out of your hand. And my experience, if you are experiencing something like that, you know, look for another job. That's, you know, it's not worth it. But that's a whole different story. And then
you know what, Rickerson, it's
yes.
kind of nowadays, you know, children are in power now, children in general, and parents blame everyone else, especially the teachers and the institution, but not their kids. So that's a regular rule now.
Yeah, it's sad to say. I mean,
yeah,
I remember when I was a kid and the school or the principal told me, I'm going to call your mother. Oh man, I had diarrhea out of the nerves, you know, I was stressed out. Now they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. They go like, yeah, call her. You know, she's on my side, so go ahead.
I remember, I think I told you that once. I remember that this girl, Jimena, she was in TKT Monterrey, and I was teaching secundaria, and we had a disagreement. She'd yell at me. I sent her out of the classroom. I asked the tutor to call the mother. And so I had all my argument prepared, you know, all my judgment and my judge prepared, and so the mother walks in and she started yelling at me. Pero usted es un muerto de hambre, yo le pago a usted, ¿qué le pasa? Que lo voy a denunciar, que no sé qué. So I looked at Jimena and I said, you know what? It's not your problem. It's your house problem. So I walk in. And after 4 months, I quit. I mean, it's not really worth it. Anyways, that's 10% institutions. And then the other 10% that is out of your hand, it's kids' problem, but not manageable problems. In other words, some mental disorder, some emotional disorder. Like if you have a student that is hyperactive, okay? They will have one, no active one, those are okay. But hyperactiveness is a mental disorder. You know, you can't you're not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, okay? So if you have one, it's okay. You have two, my condolences. There's nothing you can do, really. I mean, you just need to send it to the psychiatrist or the, you know, the tutor in the school or whatever they're studying, okay? But 80% is your fault. And it has to do with preparation. If you're not prepared enough, and you don't keep them busy, and discipline will happen. Anarchy will happen, and chaos as a result. So we are going to discuss some techniques, okay, to control your group. And these techniques will go from basic per se or light techniques to strong techniques, okay? So from easy and light in discipline to more strong and heavy in discipline per se, okay? So number one, techniques to gain and maintain groups, your reputation for effort, flexibility, and ability. Vicky, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Can you read first point?
Yes, please. Yes, learn your students' names. Be
Thank you. Pause there. The first point nada más. Thank you, Vicky.
Okay.
Learn your student's name. And maybe Vicky says, duh. Well, yeah, but you know what? It's very important to learn your student's name. What if I say, a ver, can you answer el que trae la diadema con la gorra? ¿Cómo te llamas? Remember your name?
Brian. Steven, I rather Steven. Yeah.
See, but he laughed. But deep inside, he's like, teacher, mother, son of a.
Yeah.
I pay you, you don't remember my name, mother, you know?
Yeah,
so
it
happens the same with the students.
Yeah.
You know? A ver, tú la que está junto a Liliana, ooh, that's even worse. So he remembers Liliana, but not remembers me. You know? So, and it causes, it affects their self-esteem, and consequently, it will affect discipline. Porque ahora va, ay, viene el maestro culé, y ahora va la mía. See what I mean? So, learn your students' name. Whatever technique you decide to use, but learning, like some of them have the tags. Well, now with Zoom, it's pretty cool because they have the names. You know, so if you don't use names, even though you have the names, that's, oh my Lord, that's ni cómo ayudarte, mija, ¿verdad?
Actually, I just changed mine. It says Florencia, and the other courses it says like my sister's name, and I just changed it for mine.
Very good, exactly. So it's use names. I'm sorry for the teachers in la SEP que tienen como 600 alumnos. Sorry about that, but you know what? They have to. I mean, they must use names. That's the first technique. Fabiola, number 2.
Be punctual.
Very good. Very important. If your class starts at 10, be 9:55. You know, if it's a one-to-one, online sessions, be ready to open the session on time. It's hard to gain control in a physical classroom. It's even worse in home if you're not on time. If you say, okay, 5 minutes, guys, I'll open the session, ¿qué creen que hacen los niños? Do you think it's going to be 5 minutes? No. No, they're just going to be playing and walking around or eating or whatever, you know. So be on time. Okay. Number 3 is this is for physical, well, maybe online. Can you read this, Marta?
Yes. Show up after hours to encourage them, but avoid one-on-one sessions.
This is also be online. This could be online too. In other words, be approachable. Students need to feel that you are there for them. The teacher can I didn't understand. I'll give you some homework through WhatsApp. I don't know. I'll explain something, but try to avoid one-on-one sessions. Why? Why do you think is not recommendable?
Because
Like for,
you lose the rest of the students.
Well, that might be one. I see la Marta is la teacher's pet, you know?
No, but I think if you pay attention only for one student, it's very difficult to the rest of the class pay attention because you focus only on one student. Because
That may be a reason, good reason, but I'm talking about one-to-one session privately.
Okay. I don't know because I have one-on-one sessions like psychology, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different stuff. That's your job. But I'm talking about like for free. A ver, Vicky.
Because at the end of the day, they are in a group, so they have to be in the group. And maybe if you allowed this kind of sessions one-to-one, you don't have any time because everyone they want to have everybody one-to-one session. So it's like to be a doctor.
Yes, and also
they are going.
Yes, Stephen.
Yeah, and I think that also, I mean, talking about if we are teaching a group and all of a sudden we start teaching only one, like face to face or one-on-one, there's going to be like disadvantage, you know, because they are going to be like competing themselves to have the attention, or they are going to say, oh, he's a little bit more special because he has like face-to-face courses, so why he has teacher and we don't, something like that. I think that
yeah, he's the teacher's pet, no?
Yeah, that would also happens with this situation. Yeah.
Very good, very good. And also, let me tell you something, teachers. Now, these days are crazy. These days, people are crazy. So avoid problems. Believe me, I've seen during my career, I had myself to fire 2 teachers because of being accused of harassment, it's called, you know, and there is no way to prove it. It's one word to another, but because of coordination or institution, I need to fire them, you know, even though it might be not true. So avoid problems, teachers, really. Be professional, be interested in your students, know your names, be approachable, but there is a limit. Yes, Vicky.
For example, in these days that we are using Zoom for our sessions, what happens if you leave some homework and you can say them, if you have a doubt, you can send me a text or it isn't right?
That's okay. The texting is fine. Even maybe record a video. But what you should, my recommendation is what you should avoid is it's a live transmission, like one-to-one sessions and live. You know what I mean? But if you record a video, okay, guys, okay, Juanito, mira, eso te voy a explicar, blah, 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 blah. That's okay. You know, there is no way to accuse you. But Fabiola, you raise your hand?
No, teacher, no.
Okay. You can read the news for last week. How many teachers have been fired in UNAM? And I really bet that some of them didn't have, weren't responsible. I bet that. there were just a cuatro from the students. Yes, Rosario.
I know. The teacher from Durango, you know, a lady.
Yes.
I saw that and I went like, oh my God, those students are mean because it's out of context. It's only a little bit, but the build up, they didn't show you the build up, you know. You don't get like that the minute you started the class. You get that because they got you, you know.
Yeah, of course.
They got to your
Nerves.
You know, I know.
Yeah. And you know what? Sadly, the institution have to be on side of the student. That's actually part of the law. And so
I didn't see that. What happened?
there were like 5 or 6 teachers fired during the last week.
But the Durango teachers that Rosario said, I didn't saw that.
Google it. It's it's pretty old or well, like me.
More experienced teacher.
Exactly. Like a lady teacher. Yeah, lady teacher with teenagers. They're the worst. And she would she scream at one of them or say something. You said like, I don't know what, but just seeing her, I went like, poor lady, you know. And these days you lose the how do I say this? You lose the idea that you're on tape and that you are on internet, you know, and then everybody can use those images to against you, you know. So when you lose that line, well, you can even, I don't know, you can be yourself in a classroom saying to a boy, hey, stop doing that, or don't do that, or hey, yeah, your camera, and it can get out of context like this, like context like this, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And actually, I think that this is kind of frustrating, you know. I mean, it's not about punish someone. However, I think that this generation, per se, is like too soft. Like they are like crystal. Like you just say something to them, and they are like, oh, and I'm going to, you know, like put a. I forgot how to say demanda. It's like a fine.
A suit.
Yeah,
Okay.
lawsuit, and the CEP is against you. The CEP is with the parents, and the parents know, you know.
Yeah,
so,
that's my observation. Me as part of the institution, I have to be on side of the student always, and not because of being prejudged. It's because the law says that. So if a student comes, ay, es que Vicky me quiso acá decir cosas bonitas, I have to fire her. You know, even though it wasn't true, and I know Vicky, she's you know, she's Vicky.
And they close your institution.
Her, but
they have the power to close your institution, your
exactly. Anyway, so continue. Avoid one-to-one sessions. Period. Number 3, Millie.
Millie or Lily?
No, Millie.
Show up after hours to encourage them. But
if you were paying attention and not watching porn.
You said it point number 3.
Oh, sorry.
1, 2, 3.
4. Oh, number
see?
4.
If you put attention, no, I'm sorry.
Yes. Oh my God.
Involve your students in the decision-making process. Wait a second.
That's number 5.
If I put attention, I will know that.
It was the backup plan, right?
Yes, backup plan in case your visual aids break.
I'm just messing with you. Okay, have a backup plan. This is special. This is a special true in online classes. Really, teachers, okay? You have a very cool PowerPoint. You have that happened to me recently. But anyways, a very cool PowerPoint. You spend like 2 hours at night and then on the next day. And for some reason, in the mystery of humankind, computers have mine on their own and your PowerPoint wasn't saved. So if you start improvising, what would happen, Ileana?
Well, if I have to improvise, I can take my flashcards and show the images.
Okay.
I don't know. Or
I'm gonna pause you there. You do have a plan B. Your flashcards is your plan B. But what if you haven't any? You don't have any plan B, and you start mumbling. You understand the word mumbling? You start cantinflando and improvising. What would happen to your group, Liliana?
the student maybe could make a bad idea about me.
Do you think they're going to be pay attention to you very quietly and in a disciplined manner?
If I what?
Do you
Could
think
you
they're going
repeat,
to be
please?
quiet and listening to you?
No, it's not going to happen, of course.
You lose your classroom control.
Exactly. You will lose control of your classroom. Okay, your classroom will break into anarchy and chaos. Ah, la teacher no sabe. Miss, no se preparó, ¿verdad? Even though you did. But something happened and your computer broke down and whatever. So always have a plan B. Like Liliana, you have a flashcard. Flashcards, that's okay. That's your plan B. But some of us, and including myself, might become too confident. So when, you know, la ley de Murphy, ¿verdad? Que todo lo que falla, falla, or something like that. So when that happens, you might feel a little frustrated, okay? No, or ahora sí, Millie, the last one.
Okay. Involve your students in the decision-making process.
Right? I said
Millie or Lily?
That's okay.
Yeah, I just
let's define this. Millie is Millie. Wave.
Okay.
Wave, Millie. Wave es mueve tu mano.
Wave.
Sí, Millie. Yes.
Millie.
Liliana is Liliana.
Say hi, Liliana.
Okay.
I'm Gerson, or you can call me Lord.
Oh, my lord.
My lord.
Yes.
Okay. Millie. Read number the last one.
Involve your students in the decision-making process. Encourage them to speak out whenever you notice some sort of strange behavior, such as watching at the clock all the time or showing blurry faces.
This is tricky, okay? You need to determine, listen to me, determine if it's feasible or is convenient to you to involve your students. I'll give you a scenario, okay? It's on the next class, students will have a celebration of a birthday. Okay, so how will they conduct in your class? You know, like desperate, like teacher move, ya vamos a viendo el reloj. Ya mero, teacher, ¿a qué hora son, teacher? So, if it's nothing to do with your class, ask them, hey, are you okay? Are you bored? Are you desperate? What happened? So if everybody has the same reason and is feasible or convenient, do a break or stop your class and have a game or have something that to draw their attention back. Okay, now you need to be, and listen to me, you need to be very careful and determine if they're not choreándote. Okay, if they're not fooling around, because if they're just mocking you, that's a whole different story, right? But maybe it might be a very genuine concern. Es que teacher, es el cumpleaños de la Miss, o es que, I don't know, we have movie in the next class, or es que Miss, clásico, Miss, es que tenemos examen ahorita en la siguiente clase. There is nothing wrong especially if it's an exam. Okay, pues a ver, let's move fast with a class, and then I give you some minutes to study. Why? Because they're not going to pay attention to you anyways. Okay, so just be careful and determine if it's a genuine concern. All right, let's talk about now different, your reputation for fairness and fairness. Number one, a ver, Paulo, you here? Yes, can you read it, please?
Yes, hello everyone, and well, explain why you're asked the class to do various things.
Very good, and very simple instruction, excuse me, very simple sentence, but it has a lot of meaning. Okay, let's practice, let's practice verb contractions because it will be in the exam. So the students, number one, felt important because you explain why, an instruction. Secondly, they will be more motivated. Okay, instead of, okay, let's practice verb contractions. Tan tan. ¿Por qué? Porque lo digo yo. ¿Por qué? Porque soy el maestro. ¿Por qué? Porque students will do it because, they're students. But that's gonna be a nice attitude. It's gonna be a bad vibe. Yes, Rosario.
Like there are things that are negotiable and there are things that aren't, right? And you have to be sure which are which.
Yes, and given a reason, there's nothing wrong. It won't hurt you as a teacher. On the contrary, it will help you out to gain a student's confidence and trustness. Okay. No, and next one is am I going too fast or it's okay?
It's okay.
If you have a question or anything, please pause or interrupt me, okay? Next one is Kareli, you here? The power of cry compels you.
Yes.
Number two. Yes.
Okay. When there is something acceptable about the classroom, don't tolerate.
Okay. Something unacceptable, Kareli.
Acceptable.
She said the positive one.
Yeah, you said acceptable. That's
positive.
That's positive. Unacceptable is negative.
Okay.
When it's something that you don't accept, don't tolerate it. Like give me an example. In physical classroom, que no comas, no eating, no blah blah blah. But what online classes? What don't we can't tolerate? Yes, Rosario.
The other day, one of my students, I teach second grade, remember that?
Yes.
8-year-olds. So what I was doing a memory game and they have to like scribble on the screen which card they want me to flip,
Okay.
And one of my students wrote caca. So that wasn't like, that was like, I was very, very angry and they noticed, and they all went like, oh, but if you're angry all the time, they don't know the difference. No, you have to choose your battles. So that's like a no for me, and they knew it.
Well, caca for an 8-year-old and a second grader is strong.
I know.
So it's I laugh. I wouldn't laugh, but it's
yeah, it was
Me too. Yes.
I know, but that's the thing, that you don't expect that. I didn't. So it was like, in the moment was like, oh my God. And then the extent of the things they can do and they don't,
Right.
So,
Yes.
yeah, it was an eye opener for me.
Okay, but you didn't tolerate it.
No, I didn't. And I even talked to the mom and the dad, and the conduct grade went down,
Yeah, okay, so that's a
from 10 to 8. Come on. Yeah.
Millie, you were to say something. No? Okay.
No.
So if you, that's the point. If you have something for that you establish the rules, like for example, even though you're in a home, one simple rule online, have your cameras on. That's a simple rule online classes, you know. I don't yes, Vicky.
But that's very complicated. You ask them to put their cameras on and they don't do that. So it's very tired to say that, put your camera. Oh no.
Do you, okay, very good observation, Vicky. So how do you do, this for everybody, how would you help Vicky, as you know, you're in pet talking, how would you help Vicky to overcome that obstacle? She established a rule, cameras on all the time.
I tell them, please put your cameras on because
that doesn't work. That doesn't work, Vicky. Telling them please, it won't work.
Punishments.
Yeah, warnings. Yes, warnings. Hey, you have one warning. Yeah.
The thing is that they are adults. They aren't kids, so
even more. If they are adults,
so, yeah.
It's even like easier, I think, if they are adults, because it's like, hey, you know what? First thing first, they are paying for, right? So they must have to have the camera on.
You need to establish the rules. Period. You establish the rules. It doesn't matter if it's young, adult, or elderly. If you establish the rules, if they're going to turn the camera off, they need to ask you permission. Miss, I have to pee, I'm turning my camera off. Okay, that's a whole story. But if not. How? Punishments, Stephen said. I like to call it consequences. See, don't say punishment, consequences.
Yeah.
Like for example, I don't know if you're talking about my institution or in another institution, Vicky. Both. Okay.
Both.
and my institution, we have a problem because I never established the rules about cameras on. I forgot about that. I'm working on it, but I'm looking at the best way to do it. But if you have the other institution and they had this rule, appeal to them. You know, I'm going to call the director, or I'm writing a report. Yes, Rosario.
There are many ways now on the internet of making games or making activities to have the camera on, you know, that they required that they must have the camera on. So you can, first I will talk to them, like, guys, it's awful for me as a teacher, you know, like talk to them in a one-to-one, like, please understand me. Okay.
Yes, that's
the
thing that I told them.
Well, that's the one. If they don't understand, then make it a rule. And you can say, you're the teacher. Come on. You can say, hey, from now on, from this minute on, the rule is the camera is on. And then have them, I don't know, like give points or do it first positively, you know, like making I don't know, games or change your name, but now, or make charades, or I don't know, like use your hands to tell this phrase or something like that. And if they don't, then establish like 3 warnings. I don't know, like go to the consequences.
Yeah, that will help you out, Vicky. And for everybody, for schools like prepa, secundarias, and my institution is different because they go there for because of 1 and 2. So the consequences are positive. So for example, Vicky, I'm giving you a heads up. I'm working on a policy, list, and the one that the student that complies all the policy and policies and 100% will get a ticket for VIP movies. I don't know. I'm working on it. So
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to prove that.
Maybe, yeah, explain them that you need to see the mouth, the moving of the, you know, the way you're teaching language. You need to see the expressions. You need
Actually,
to,
that's a
Yes,
very,
and for pronunciation, for example, it's very important to watch how they are pronounced.
yeah, I think that the what you just said, Rosario, it's amazing because it's a smart way to force them, let's say, to have the, you know, like the webcam on, because it's actually that has a good meaning, let's say, or you have basis, you know, like of course I need to see your face, even though you know that you want to see the face to make sure that he's taking the course. That is a way, like subliminal way to have them have the, you know, like the webcam, because it's okay. You have to you need to see their mouth to see if they are making like the good articulation and all that stuff. I think it's a good way.
yeah, explain that, and we'll see what happens. No? Okay, so bottom line, when you establish a rule and somebody breaks the rule, don't tolerate it. If you tolerate it, everybody's going to do it, and then you lose credibility, and then you become a barco teacher, and everybody does whatever they want in your class. Number 3 is the Liliana.
Okay.
Se cortó.
Liliana, manifest. The power of Christ compels you.
Dice que ahora ya no, gracias.
Sí, así. No es cuando tú quieras, teacher Madoff. Ok. Ahí se fue. Fabiola, to the rescue, please.
When there's something.
No, we passed that. If you weren't watching porn, it's the next one.
Okay, try to keep. No.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah,
That's the one.
that is the one.
Try to keep as relaxed a classroom atmosphere as possible.
Very good. So, in other words, foster free communication. If you, and this is very interesting. I've seen teachers, and I don't know why. They ask they elicit question, okay? So they received the questions and they kept interrupting. Okay, so what places do you like to? Because I go last year, and he continues, and I go last year. And he interrupts, and can you listen to me? Yes, okay. And the teacher interrupts Juanito Perez, and then what happens to Juanito Perez?
He loses the idea, right?
Loses the idea. What else?
He feels embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think Juanito Perez will answer the question again later on?
No, not really.
They might be, because you force them, but then the first opportunity, he will have an indiscipline, action, and a misbehavior action, because teacher Kulei me interrumpió, teacher this and that.
You need to explain them in the end.
Exactly.
You have to say, no, remember, the passive goes went, and that's it.
Exactly. Very good. Last one is oh yes, Paulo.
Well, about this point, I think that is very important. For example, like you're saying, for example, when you're going to try to give the feedback to the students, I think that is very important to give it at the end of the class, but in a general way, because if you start like saying like, oh, you had this mistake, I think that is also bad, because probably you can feel like a little bit frustrated. Like you can see it like in general, no? Like, oh guys, and well, today I identified that we as a group we have this kind of mistakes or we have this kind of um things that went wrong, no? So well, we're going to check it this for the next class, or we're going to, I don't know. But well, I think that is very important to give like this feedback session, but for everyone, not just only like focus in one student. Well, that's my point of view.
No, and your point of view is correct. It's correct. That's my point of being free communication. Now you have to be careful. Some students go, too smart. They feel too smart, and they start talking, a little bit too much. But as far as you can promote free communication among your students. Okay? The last one, yourself, Paulo. Read the last point, please.
Okay, so well, is recognize good behavior and effort. Avoid sarcasm, shouting, or I, I don't know
Comparing.
what, or comparing.
So recognize good behavior. Do you agree with this? Even though Juanito Perez suck? Yes, always. Gracias por intentarlo, Juanito. you know, and thank you thank you for your answer, Juanito. But avoid sarcasm. Now this is difficult because I'm very sarcastic. But avoid that. Uy, sí, hasta que aprendió su cámara Juanito Pérez. ¿No?
Hoy sí se bañó.
Hoy sí se va, ándale. Hasta que se bañó Juanito Pérez. And avoid shouting. Well, okay. Not to be confused with raising your voice. Sometimes you need to raise your voice to make yourself clear or control group or control the group. But shouting is insulting. You understand that? It's offensive. So don't do that. Comparing. Ay, Mili, ¿por qué no eres como la Mili del miércoles? Ay, Dios mío. See her face? That's a normal reaction. Ay, Juanito Pérez, ¿por qué no eres como tu hermana Juanita del año pasado? Don't do that.
Porque no soy ella.
Yeah, and because you're starting a battle that you can win.
No, and actually a battle that you can, sorry for my French, but you can really screw somebody, because this is not just like something physical, but it's something mental that you can be causing something wrong with that kid. It's like he's gonna feel that he's not doing something good, or I mean, like it's something that you screw totally the person.
And in fact, what you just said, Stephen, let me tell you something. I was invited to, but anyways, I read, and most of the people, adults, that say that hate English, it's because they hate the teacher. Something happened when they were young that made, they hated the English teacher. So then, therefore, they hate English.
Yeah, you're right, Gerson. And it happens to me when I was teaching, like they were teenagers, like from 18 to 25, for something like that. There was one lady, she was like there because she was obliged, because of the career, because of the major. That she was like, oh, I'm just here because I need the English, not because I like it. And she was like all the time saying like she hates English, and then when she started like taking my courses, it's not because I'm like eminence or something like that, but I try to make my courses like funny, like like being active all the time, giving them like good lexis. So she started like loving the English, and now she's teaching English. So it's like you can make the difference. And that is the way, that's the way you feel like even better, because I mean, it's not because of the payment, because it doesn't really it's not that
No.
good. Nevertheless, seeing and having in mind that I changed the chip for that girl, it was amazing. That was the best payment, and now she loves English.
You just touch something very sensitive, and I'm sorry to say it like that, especially for Paulo, that is our newest recruit in the group. Um, if you hear because teaching English is easy, if you hear because you're gonna be a millionaire, no.
No, and let alone here in Mexico, of course not.
No, not even the whole world. I mean,
Yeah.
for some reason, education is the worst. Not the worst, but one of the worst, a profession, that is not well paid. And but what you said is important. You're here because you want to convey your knowledge. You want to be part of students' life. I'm proud to say that I have in my Facebook students from 15 years ago. And teacher, te encontré, ¿te acuerdas de mí? No. But ¿te acuerdas de la escuela? Sí. Okay, so that is actually what pays of what you do, So, yeah, thank you for sharing that. Okay, next slide. Questions so far? No? Okay, good. Your knowledge of the content. Yes, please, Liliana, read number 1.
Yeah, thank you. Your students will notice this. Let me move this. Okay. This on the basis of your ability to answer the questions.
Very good. Very good. How to handle the question. This is very important, teachers. Let me put it this way. If you don't master something, don't teach it. I mean, I'm sorry to say that. And I understand, I really do, that we need money. I really do. But, and in my experience, and nobody told me that, I never said no. And I'm still in therapy. So when I was young or younger, they say, hey, can you teach level 5? Of course. Me lo desayuno yo, level 5. And don't do that, teachers, really. Prepare yourself first. Okay? First of all, it's bad for your self-esteem. I mean, seriously. Last year, because I'm a Cambridge oral examiner, so some years I need to do how to call it? It's called recertification, but it has a different name, anyways. So last year, I was invited to do a CPE exam from the Cambridge. And I didn't listen to myself, and I said, sure, of course, me lo desayuno, CPE. CPE is the proficiency English, is the highest in Cambridge.
It's the highest one. I want that one.
Highest. I have CAE. I have CAE, but I should have known. Well, ya sabía, la neta, but you know what? It's like, yeah, sure, me lo desayuno, si puedo. Pelation me the CPA and whatever.
Self-confidence,
no?
Yeah, self-confidence.
And so I accepted. It was for free. So I accepted it, and I just say that after the exam, I walked for 10 minutes with no destination. My mind was blown away. I mean, that weekend I felt bad. I was depressed, really. I felt sad because of it was a very difficult exam. I don't have the level. I'm sorry to say that, but not sorry. Just I don't have it. So obviously I failed it, and my superior said study, sure. And but if you don't master it, teachers, prepare yourself. Okay, and that's very important. And the other thing besides your self-esteem is that students notice it. Students, ay, no sabe, miss. Teacher, no sabe, va. So what happens if the students notice that you don't know?
They don't pay attention. They don't even care about you.
They don't believe you.
Exactly.
Even worse.
Exactly. My oldest daughter, she has a new English miss, no, that I train, but she's not. I mean, she's really good at teaching, but her English level is not really that, that good.
Ace. Mhm.
And my oldest daughter, she has level, like advanced level. Y todos los días me dice, es que no le entiendo. ¿No le entiendes? No, es que más bien me aburro.
Damn.
¿Qué le digo? So teachers, please master whatever you're going to say, or excuse me, to present, right? Continue reading. Let me see. Yes, Steven, please.
All right. If one student asks, many students are wondering, so don't leave questions for the end.
Yes, it might be a genuine question. Miss, es que ayer en the Big Bang Theory escuché que dijeron, and everybody has the same question, answer it. Or even though if it's a question from the topic, Miss, es que no entendí cómo era el ING. Miss, o sea, si se le quita la E, ¿cómo va? And everybody asks the same questions, answer the question. What would happen, Steven, if you don't answer the question?
There's this space and they will not fit in, I think that it's utterly important to answer the question, if possible, like right back, like when it is asked, because sometimes that is something that can be important for them. Sometimes for example, I have a student time ago that she always makes the mistake with the false cognates, and she always says actually, and she take it like actually was like currently when it is not, and never asked for the difference. She never looked that for either. And so she was, that is something that is called in linguistics fossilized, or when you se fosiliza el error lingüístico. So she stopped, instead of not doing it, she was doing it like all the time, like currently, So that was like too fossilized that when she realized she was wrong, and then we have this epiphanic time that, oh, it is not that way, and I've been telling this way and it's incorrect. So she felt like uncomfortable, and she felt herself like she was messing around all the time. And I told her, okay, it's cool, don't you worry. Nevertheless, yeah, you never asked, you never say anything. So of course I cannot imagine, I don't even have that idea. But answering your question, Harrison, if we do not attach or approach a question when it's asked, I think that we can cause like maybe not severe, but we can definitely make something not good like happen there. Like I don't even know how to explain that.
I guess what you're trying to say is two things. You leave a gap open.
Yeah.
And secondly, you lose credibility.
Because they think you don't know.
Exactly. Y no sabe, picture, and then chaos and anarchy happens in your classroom. Request for clarification, Marta.
Requests? How I pronounce yes?
Requests.
Request for clarification. Invite students to give it a try first in case the question seems too basic for the level.
Exactly. If somebody asks you for a clarification and you just taught it, well, then ask for somebody to give a try. Okay. What about off-topic questions? Read the 2 points, Vicky.
Provide a brief answer depending on the situation. Don't be afraid of resorting to your colleagues in case you don't know the answer.
Very good. If you don't know the answer, there is nothing. Sorry, Steven. Yes, go ahead, Steven.
I don't see the whole screen. I just can see what it says your colleagues in case you, and then I cannot see the rest of the screen.
Everybody has the same problem, or just Steven?
It's just me. Come on.
I can see everything.
I can see everything too.
I can see all the screen.
So maybe it's because of maybe it's because of see, Steven, you need to buy a cell phone now from the OXXO.
Evil.
Well, I just amplify my screen, and I'm
just messing with you, man. I mean,
I can see like the end, but it's like if you have to scroll up a little bit the screen. So I don't know.
I can't see it either.
Sí, Mili, los del OXXO no sirven.
No, nobody told me that before.
So anyways, off-topic questions. You need to be very careful with that. Excuse me, no, we're in the last one, right? And don't be afraid to resort. Okay, what if you don't know the answer? How do you answer?
Then you ask them to research it.
Okay. In a moment, I'll be answer you. Let me check because I can remember. That's it.
I think that's the way. Yeah, that's the way.
Exactly. Don't make it up.
No, because you can even like fuck it up.
Yeah, because students sometimes not a rule, but sometimes students already know the answer. They're just testing you. So don't make it up. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying no. Personally, I say that's a good question, but I'm almost perfect. I'm extremely sexy, but I don't know all the answers.
Yeah,
I said the same. I'm not a genius. Come on, let me remember, and then I'm gonna answer you.
No, talking about that, they are sometimes testing you. I have another student. He once told me, "Hey, teacher, what is CRAP? What does CRAP stand for?" And I, of course, knew the answer, and I was like, "But he wants me to say it in Spanish because he wants everybody to be laughing." And I told him because I noticed the way he was doing it. It was like something like he was putting my knowledge in, like he was testing me, and I just answered back like, "Okay, crab, yeah, crab is something I like tort." And he was like, "What is tort?"
You should have answered crap, huh? How do you say ser en conducta, mother?
Yeah, and I just answered back like, "Okay, it's like saying tort, or it resembles to a tort." And he was like, "Tort, what is it?" And I told him, as he was not a part of the topic, I told him, "Okay, you can look for tort at the end, and you will see that pretty much is related with crap." And he was like, "Oh my god!" So it was cool. Everybody knows what is tort.
They are so mean. Why?
You need to. Well, that's part of life, Vicky. That's nowadays students are like that. Yes, Millie.
Once one student told me, "Teachers, what's the meaning of pussy?" And I said,
"Oh my goodness,
pussy." And she said, "Yes." What is it? Yes. And I said, "No." He was a teenager from high school, and I said, "You're talking about vagina." And he said, like, "Yes." "Oh, okay, let's learn the names of the body." And I teach them the names of the body, and I make them repeat the names of the body because he was like try to kill me, and I said, I had better knowledge than you, kid.
Yeah, I would have answered shut up because it's been recorded. Yeah, yes, exactly. You need to determine if it's a genuine question, like, "Teacher, last night I read in the BBC news article that." Okay, that's, if you know the answer, answer it. If you don't know, ask for help, or do your research. But if it's something that you just want to test you out, we'll discuss that in a moment, how to conduct and neuralize those kind of guys that just want to get you on your nerves. So,
Yes.
so far so good?
So far, so good.
It's 11:15. You want to take a pee break?
Yes, please.
Yes? Okay, so let's take a pee break. So we'll meet here 11:30, okay? So it's 15 minutes.
Sweet. So, thank you.
Okay, I'll leave the session open.
Thank you.
No, thank you. And so I'll be here and I'll see you here in 50 minutes. I'm back.
Okay.
I was just finishing up my sandwich. Mamba. Cool.
Is Mama taking breakfast?
I don't mind sandwich. But now, okay, ya no hay Mamba, ya no hay.
Oh, poor Mamba. She's hungry.
She's always hungry.
Mamba like the snake? Yes.
Yeah, the Mamba negra.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
Ven, Mamba. Ven, Mamba. Let me show you my Mamba.
Oh, look at her. She's very black.
Yeah, she's all black. Yeah. Míralos.
Hi, Mama. She just wants to kiss you.
Yes. Okay. Let me go to the Caribbean. There you go. So let's move on. Keeping.
Bueno, medio kilo de tortillitas para comerlo calientitas, mami. Aquí la vuelta con la tía.
Sí, Fabiola.
I want tortillas too, please.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Chuletita también.
Everybody wants tortilla. What are you having for breakfast, Rosario?
I'm sorry
Pineapple.
for the noise. I'm sorry.
Boring pineapple.
I
No.
when I was in physical classroom and somebody's is on the phone and answers, les digo, Fabiola, I yell, Fabiola, ya llegaron los strippers, saca las cervezas. One time, one of my misses, or I was training, era su esposo, cara. She got into trouble. Y todavía me dice, pero es para qué le dice, maestro, pues yo estoy hablando, le digo, pues tú para qué contestas en el salón. So keeping students focused and wanting to learn. Read the first point, Liliana. Your microphone is off. Yes.
Yeah. Techniques and ways to regain a group. The number one, right? Keeping the students focused and waiting to learn.
The next one.
Okay. The teacher must be able to explain the content clearly.
Yes, we discussed that in a moment, right? We just discussed that a moment ago. If you don't master something, don't teach it. I mean, it's bad for your self-esteem, bad for your classes. Yes, Rosario.
Thank God for internet, though, because the other day I was teaching a class on writing a letter, and the letter, the model, have like sign language, something about sign language. And I asked my students, one of them asked me, what is sign language, teacher? And I went like, oh my God. Okay, so how do I explain it? Okay, at YouTube, sign language. Okay, do you want to learn how to speak English in signs, using signs? And everyone was, yeah. So teaching the alphabet, they were so happy, and I was too.
And we, Rosario and I can relate that, and we can say thanks for Mr. Google, the saying Google and says YouTube, because we didn't have that. And we didn't have it. We didn't even have it in a home. It was a luxury, app or and gadget. So I was poor. I didn't have any, so I had to go to a cafe or a library. So yes, it's we do have much easier the access to information, much easier. You just worst case scenario, you buy a 20 pesos recharge in your en el Oxxo, ya tienes internet, no? So
Yeah.
if you don't master, don't teach it. No, next one, Paulo.
Yeah, for adults learners, use words as such as why, because, and you.
Exactly. So the magical words, no, why, thank you, please. Why is it important to use that? Not just for adults. The book says adults, but it's for everybody, even young learners. Why was it important? I mean, besides manners, no, education, but why is it important as far as in discipline?
Because there's an order, there's like if you ask why, then you have the answer because, and it's the proper way. It's not like you're gonna say why, teacher, and you will answer with something that is not. You know what I mean? It's like to have an order, or to have a, yeah, pretty much this technique or this well established. Pretty much to have an order. I would say, like, just to keep this professional and keep it as a class. So you wondering why? I'm telling you the because of, right?
Very good. You keep it formal. And how would your students feel?
That they are important, that they are getting what they are asking for.
I'm sorry, paréntesis. Liliana, you have a problem with your audio? Sí, ¿verdad? Veo que estás struggling. Liliana, es que hay que comprar uno que no sea del Oxxo, mija.
I thought that she was scolding his kid or something like that.
No, but so you haven't, is it, no nos escuchas?
I have problems sometimes. Sorry, but
Okay.
I have to put attention.
Don't
Okay.
worry, everybody has problems, baby.
Yeah,
Don't
no worry
worry
about it. Very good. Okay, so and you made them feel important to your students. Emily, next one.
Involve your students in the topic.
There's
That
a
is
typo
not
there,
right.
Kirsten.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a typo, Kirsten, there.
Ask
Where?
question.
It says involve you students instead of
Is
yours.
that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's your students.
Involve your
Yes.
students in the topic. Avoid repeating only what the textbook says.
Exactly. Thank you for telling me, Stephen. I was just testing you if you were paying attention, and you were reading the slide. Now, as I said, I'm almost perfect. I'm extremely sexy, but
He's
I make
almost.
mistakes.
You can be sexy. You can be sexy at the same time. Perfect. No, it's one
Exactly.
or one.
Exactly. So avoid what the textbook says. You know the classic teacher's edition, no? Que lo abres, on the right, it's the student's page, and on the left is the lesson plan for the student's page. I don't know if you've seen those. So if you, I know Marta maybe not because she's new, Fabiola definitely not. Fabiola, don't get intoxicated. Those doesn't work.
Yeah,
So
because actually that also depends on the year they were published, because there are some changes nowadays. For example, there is something in Spanish that is empero instead of saying pero. And I had this argument with a student because she was like, oh, but it was just to be used before. And I was telling her, yes, but nowadays it is an archaism therefore it's not that correct. So you have to stick to the pero one, you know. And she was like arguing, and but the book says, and I told her yes, it is correct, but politically speaking, is not anymore. So you have to stick to the because, and that's
Como,
it. And even in shorter.
como
Yeah.
el
So
negrito tunito, ¿no?
yeah.
So, but let me tell you, let me ask you something, Steven, and everybody. If you follow the student's book, excuse me, the teacher's book as a recipe, what would happen to your class?
It's a flat class. It's going to be a real square. It's not going to be funny class.
So
So
students will be bored. You agree with me?
pretty much.
Yeah.
So when a student is bored, what happens, Rosario?
You lose him or her.
And then anarchy and chaos comes into play.
Exactly. They find something else to do.
Exactly. So that's my point. Be creative. All right. Be creative in your lesson plan. Next one is the Fabiola. You here? Manifest. The power of Christ compels you. Oh no, she's eating the chuleta. That's right. Marta, next one.
Bring students to the front of the room whenever you have a chance.
This is obviously for physical classroom, but you still can do it in online classes. You know, have students do presentations, have the students, especially for the ones that is pick me, you know, like always participating, always wanting to do something, the leader. All right, you will have one or two. You have more than three, my condolences, but that's a whole different story. But you have one or two that is always pick me, and yo maestro, yo miss. Well, then keep them busy, give them something to work on. You know, like okay, ahorita Juanita Pérez, please present your homework. Puf, como pavo real, Juanita Pérez, así de, of course, teacher. Ahorita les presento, les voy a enseñar. You know. So keep them busy with those. Rosario, next one.
If you have a highly capable student who attempts to dominate the classroom, invite him to be your assistant for the day.
Yeah, the best way to keep them calm.
Yeah, but and pause there. There's nothing wrong with them. Ojo, that's no misbehaving.
And you have to be careful with that too, because they can be the hated one for to the other kids, you know.
Yeah, it's just about guiding, like use that energy they have to direct that energy, you know.
And it's bad for this is bad for his or her self-esteem. Because as Rosario said, everybody hates them. So, be careful with that because there is nothing wrong with them. They just want to be in the spot, you know. And then they usually are very intelligent and they do, learn a lot. So how can you, ask you something, Vicky, how do you make Juanito Perez your assistant for the day in online classes?
I don't know. It's a little bit complicated for me because I don't have kids. So I teach adults almost all the time. So
but let me pause you there. It applies for everybody, eh?
Yes, I know, but it's not. I until today I don't have any problem with that. Maybe I have one student that she wants to speak a lot, but it's a group that I just have 3 students, and I balance that thing because everybody wants have to participate. So I'm not sure about how
can you do it online? How would you do it, Liliana? How will you have one student as an assistant in online classes?
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, I can't disconnect because my children is here with me today. And could you repeat please the question?
Sure. You know, you will have a leader that is always pick me, I want to answer. So you will keep him or her busy as making him your assistant for the day. How would you do that in online classes?
In online classes. Okay, try to that person or that student now please help me to read or help me to explain or give me give me more examples or I try to that person make me as a helper, a teacher's helper.
Yes, how would you do that?
Maybe nowadays we have I think it's jumper. Well, I mean there are a lot of features or let's say gadgets, and you can give them the control. So if you have a presentation, for example in PowerPoint, you will give him or give her the control, and you will say, okay, so once you notice that a student finished reading, you can slide to the other slide, right? Or now you have to stop here, or you have to give to read, for example, the instructions, and they will have to answer something like that. I mean, so you're giving him the like the control of the presentation, so he's going to feel important, and he's going to be like, and actually he's gonna, I think that if that is the way, he or her is going to be like quiet, just doing like, like just by changing the slide, he's going to be happy, or he's going to feel important because he's, oh, I'm the teacher's helper, or I'm like the mini teacher now. So he's gonna feel the power, and he's gonna feel that he has control. So it's cool.
Very good, very
I
good.
mean, it's not impossible though.
Paulo.
I just have an idea that, for example, you can, before the class, you can give him or her the task of trying to catch all the mistakes that their partners have. So, for example, if you give this task, like, okay, you're going to write me in a Word or in a document, you're going to write all the mistakes that you can identify and you're going to give me this document, or we're going to share this same document, and at the end of the class, well, I am going to review this document that you write with all the mistakes that your classmates had, and well, we're going to analyze and we're going to give the feedback for them. No, probably
That's a
not
good one.
like probably not to accuse them, not like Juan said this, or Mariana said this, or they had this mistake, like in general, like I said previously. And well, I think that it could be a good idea, no, to try to give this task, like, oh, you're going to be in charge, like you're going to be the supervisor of the mistakes. And I think that gives like extra empowerment, no?
I
And
think it's
like
a good
he's
one.
going to
It's a
catch all the
bombastic one.
mistakes.
Good.
Yeah, he's going to catch the mistakes, and he's not going to speak because he's going to pay attention to
Yeah,
others.
ace.
Very good. Excellent.
Exactly.
So there are ways.
Of course.
There are ways. You should need to be creative. Okay. Can you give me 1 minute or 30 seconds? I need to call my daughter's mother is calling me.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, teacher.
And that's important because she never calls me. So.
Go ahead, teacher. So I can see more people here that I don't really know. For example, you, Liliana, or Vicky. Nice to meet you, girls.
Nice to meet you. It's my second class here. I wasn't.
Oh. Okay. And Polo, I think I don't know you either, Cesar. Polo. Anyways, nice to meet you, everyone.
Yeah,
nice,
it's
nice to meet you, Steven. I had problems with my camera today. Yeah, today is my third class or second, I don't remember, third class.
I'm just about How to finish? I think I have maybe 4 or 5 classes just.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, this because my daughter's mother, she's leaving for the weekend, you know, long weekend, and my daughter doesn't want to go. She has those issues, so she's asking me if I can take care of her, of course. So as soon as we finish, I'm going to pick her up. Thank you for the waiting.
No, don't worry.
It's okay, don't worry.
We got your 6.
Thank you. All right, so in the last one of this slide, Rosario? No, you already said, no, sorry. Millie.
If you examine questions and your handout style agrees with your lecturers, the students will pay more attention in class.
Do you agree with this, Millie?
Yeah, yes, because you can say them. Hey guys, pay attention. This is going to be in the exam, right?
Of course. If the students know,
that's the magic word.
Exactly, it is. If the students know that whatever you're teaching is in the exam, they will pay attention to you. It comes naturally, for real. And but this again has to do with your preparation. You need to know what to teach and what to examine. All right? So it has to do with preparation. So far, so good?
So far, so good.
Okay. Yes. So now let's talk about, in a really more aggressive way, responding forcefully and fairly to challenges to your authority. Ándale, pues. Read the first one, Stephen.
Okay, it says, you handle challenges by making the challenger appear silly in front of of her peers. Damn.
Making feel silly. How can you do that? Like, es que Miss, no, así no es, Miss. ¿A poco no? No, Miss. A ver, explícalo.
That's it.
And that's it. Normally, that's it. You will have one or two, they will explain it.
Yeah, I think as humans, we know a lot of ways to make somebody feel or seems silly. I think that in this point specifically, we have to be very careful because we can, of course, damage, more than making him or making her be like quiet or making feel them stupid or silly, let's say. Sorry for the word. Yeah, we have to be careful, but definitely there are a lot of ways to make somebody feel silly in front of the population.
It is a lot of ways, but now remember that I explained in the beginning of the class that we're looking at strategies from light and easy ways to control to stronger and more aggressive. We're talking about at a point that a student is only nagging you, only picking on you. Okay, so if you have one of those students, well, you need to respond to that. Because if you don't respond to that,
they take over.
But mal plan.
Badly.
And it's like a virus, it's contagious, it spreads. So, number one, make it, explain it. Es que así no es, okay, explain it. Miss, maestro, es que se equivocó una palabra, a ver, pásale y corrígela. Well, in this case, you can't, but in online classes, translate it. Next one is Liliana. Number 2.
Okay, number 2, anticipate the questions and complaints.
Good. You need to know your students. And you need to know your students and see who is going to complain and what question is going to be. If you anticipate those, what happens, Paulo?
Well, I think that you're going to be prepared. I think that if you anticipate, you're going to be prepared for these challenges or these complaints, and you're going to know how to react and what kind of answers also you can give, no?
Exactly. If you anticipate, you're more prepared. Again, Remember the first slide, preparation. How do you anticipate questions and complaints, Rosario? How will you anticipate those?
Yeah, preparing, because you know your students, and you know, well, by the second or third class, you know how they are going to react to your planning.
Exactly.
So,
and you it's impossible not to label them, no?
Impossible.
So if you label them, keep them to yourself, okay? No, share it.
Exactly.
First of all. Secondly, but keep it to yourself. Es que ahí viene el que habla mucho. Es que viene el que se participa mucho. Es que, so it's not in the bad way per se, no de mala onda. It's just that you need to know your students and anticipate what are they going to do, ask, or complain. Okay, know your students, very important. Next one is Vicky.
If the students point out that your lecture is irrelevant, have a second lesson plan in reserve if it's reasonable.
Very good. What if you have a reading y de repente Vicky dice, maestro, ya lo leímos? Y tú así de, no. Y Rosario dice, sí, maestro, ayer, mire, aquí están mis notas. Chin.
But it have to be with preparation, no?
Exactly, it has to do with preparation. And remember, 80% of indiscipline is your fault. Has to do with preparation. So you will have a plan B. What if, because you're human, no? We are almost perfect and extremely sexy, but we make mistakes. That happened to me recently with you guys in my Wednesday's classroom. I mixed it up. Y Vicky me dijo, maestro, ya lo vimos. Yo no, que sí, Vicky, que sí, maestro. Dije, ay, chica, sí, cierto, es que es del sábado, ¿verdad? So, have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan, because if you start improvising, again, start mumbling, your class is ruined. Simple as that. Finally, Fabiola, the last one. First of all, Fabiola, was it good, the chuletas?
Yes, we cooked the Mexican eggs.
Oh, very good.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, if a student is persistently noisy, point out that most of his classmates want to learn, and he's interfering with this.
If he's keeping talking, well, then it's time to say in a firmly way, you know what? Let's
There are people who wants to learn here.
Exactly. You know what? Is more people want to learn and participate, so please be quiet. All right. Good. What if they get hecklers? They get pain in the butt. Oh. Who are those? Read this, Paulo.
At the adult level, these are people who have chosen to believe lies that make them feel morally and intellectually superior.
They do. For real, they do. I mean, they are students and they feel like the Mr. Miyagi or something like that, you know, like they feel like they are the top of the level. Incredibly, yeah, I laugh at them, you know, not with them, at them, you know, but they do. Somebody's knocking at the door. Give me 1 minute, 30 seconds. Sorry, my wife is sleeping. So...
don't worry, go for it. It's the rappy stuff, right? The Uber Eats.
Envidia que está dormida.
Well, at least you're not sleepy, but you're learning, so.
Yes, I know, but it's Saturday. I want to be sleeping.
Maybe it's I need to send a TOEFL score to my school. Hold on a second.
Damn. Yeah, I didn't want to wake up today. Yesterday I have a very hard day, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's almost time. So yeah.
It happens. It was a very rough week for me, so I want to sleep late and be at bed all day, but I can't.
There we go. Sorry about that. Yes, they do. They feel intellectually superior. Number 2 is the Rosario.
The hacker's strategy will be to portray you as a radical right, radical left, or a close-minded scientific dogmatist ignorant of new data, or maybe a malicious oppressor of the human race. Exactly so.
They do. They really
They
are.
do, yeah. And they know how to get you. They know how to. They know that point, you know, when you go crazy.
They know what button to push. You know?
Exactly so.
Our soft spots.
Yeah, no, and it's very, very frustrating.
It's also a gift because they are very intelligent. They know they must be lawyers or psychologists because they have all the attention on you.
I believe you're one of those.
No, they can be presidents. Come on.
Me? No. Well, kind of, but not anymore. I'm a teacher now. I don't know why the hecklers is always become a teacher. I don't know why this is like a curse.
Because you know how to handle people. That's why.
Yes.
We have a president like that.
Yes.
Yeah, you spot on.
Yes.
But it's an advantage because we know that we can do. So we can be prepared for that kind of attitude.
Manipulate.
We're going to discuss some techniques of what to do. Okay, let's. We know that now. We know who they are, right? That who we're talking about. Okay. How to neuralize those? Can you read the first one, Vicky?
As much as you can, try to act sympathetic rather than angry.
Very, very important. Remember, el que se enoja, así de sencillo, Mili.
You have to think faster than them. If he said something, you have to answer faster than them because if not, he's going to win. So.
But actually, we have to be wise because maybe you have in mind that you don't have to get angry. However, we have something that is called body language. So if I try to supposedly be calm, but they notice that I am not calm, even though that I'm saying, oh no, I'm okay. But they look at my face, of course they are not gonna buy it, and it's going to be no, he's still angry. So keep on doing it, like keep on.
Yes, Vicky.
At the end of the day, you have to be sure that you're the teacher. So if they want, if they don't, I'm so sorry. But you have the power.
And don't get angry. Even though, and this is almost, this is very hard. Because they know what button to push, like Rosario said. I mean, they know where to get us. But remember that they want that. So don't give them the gusto, ya sabes, no? So as much as you can, sympathetic, not getting into any discussion, and like Stephen said, not even get into body language that portrays that you're angry. Okay, that's rule number 1. Don't get angry. It's like when Fabiola se pelea con su novio, ¿no? Y su novio se enoja, ella no se enoja, ¿quién se enoja más? Pues el novio.
Yes, but like I said, you have the power, so you don't have a reason to be angry because you have the power. So
let me tell you something.
And if you don't, fake it until you make it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah,
You have to
yeah.
fake it to make it.
That was what I want to say, Rosario. I want to say something strong. If you get you get angry, is because you're insecure, because you're afraid of
Exactly.
something, you know.
Yeah.
And don't do that.
He wants to make me feel a fool. And if you angry, you're a fool. So you have to
Exactly.
be
Yeah.
more intelligent than them.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
That's the
Very
point.
good. Next one, Liliana.
Okay. Ask the heckler, why do you believe that?
They sometimes have these. They comment some conspiracy theories and very strange, radical topics just to get you on your nerve. So again, okay, why do you believe that? Explain it. A ver si como dice Lucha,
Como roncas duermes.
como roncas duermes, ¿no? So, o dice mi padre, a ver de qué cuero sale más correas.
Yeah.
You know, ask them, make them feel silly. Next one is
Yes, because they are very intelligent. They feel, I'm sorry, very intelligent about that. So, okay, that you're very intelligent. So show us that you're very intelligent and you can do this.
exactly. Next one, Fabiola.
Ask the other students, did I say that?
Fabiola, you are going to make a mistake, I promise you. You're going to make mistakes in front of students. It's part of being human. So when you make a mistake, don't get angry. Even though they laugh at you, don't get angry. Or even you misspell or mispronounce a word, okay? Did I say that? Hombre, ¿a poco sí me equivoqué? Sí, miss, te equivocas. Ah, perdón, bueno, pues es que nada más estaba checando. Y ya. Because if you make a mistake and then you get angry, again, it's because you're insecure.
And you're giving them the control.
Exactly, exactly. Very good. Marta, next one.
Yes. You say to the heckler, I appreciate to share your concern about. However, what I was actually trying to say was, I am sorry you were not able to understand that.
Very,
Bien bajado
very
ese balón.
politely saying you're
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was classy.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was like.
Exactly. That's very polite to say you're stupid, you know?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
but yeah,
You know what? I can relate, but with
yes.
with the parents, my kids' parents, you know, because I have these kind of, you know, parents, like they know how to teach their children English and they don't. So I know better. So I use these with them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's pretty on the point. Yeah, I have parents like that all the time.
And they get it, you know? They're like, they feel, because if you say the same thing, but in a negative way, they will get, it would backfire you.
Exactly. No, you cannot go there. You cannot go there, and you cannot show fear, and you cannot answer to every email, you know, putting you below them. No, you have to be on top. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, because actually I have once a parent that he was like, okay, my daughter does not studies at home because actually she all the time does with me. For example, I just teach her how to say some tools in the bathroom, and I was like, okay, so you're teaching her, all right. So then you have to clarify that restroom is one thing and bathroom is another thing, and she has to know the difference in between. For example, a restroom, you just have the WC and the hand washer, you know, and in a bathroom, you actually have the bath, or you have is where you take a shower. So it's different. So you may teach her those differences. And he was like, "Oh, I thought that it was the same." So in a few words, I made him feel stupid and made him know that he was not doing something that was that correct. As long as he was teaching like properly, yes, but he was not. So he stopped doing it and he told me, oh no, you know what? let's leave it up to the professor. Let's leave it this to the teacher. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Next one is Paulo.
Yeah. Make the issue raise an interest a group subject. Will out about.
Buena paréntesis, Mili, you're okay? You have a headache? Oh, okay, the light, okay. Sí, it's called hangover. Pero pues ayer, ¿qué tal?
No, it's sunlight. Sunlight in my eyes, but thank you, I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay. So, sometimes a person is speaking something, and sometimes you do, okay, let's talk about it, and everybody would do it as a homework. Let me tell you an experience that I had like a couple of years ago in school. I was given a TOEFL preparation course for English teachers in something como un legionario, esos colegios ricos. And so the coordinator was angry at me. She was very bitchy at me. Why? Because she also had a school, and the colegio hired me instead of her school. Okay, so you know. Anyways, I was given. I don't know what the topic was, but it was grammar. So we were practicing irregular verbs and past participle. Okay, so for example, eat, eaten, and things like that. No? So, for example, Millie, how do you say ride and past participle?
Right?
Right,
Wrote.
written.
Written.
Written. Yeah, written with double D, right?
Right. Wrote, write. Written. Oh my God, I don't know.
Written.
Right, like a
Written.
motorcycle, right, Harrison?
Yes.
Okay.
So exactly that exactly happened in the classroom, no? So everybody was confusing. I was just led them to discuss among them because I was, guiding them. And the coordinator, who was very bitch at me, he was sitting in the back, and she's like, "No, you're mistaken." Because I corrected, it's written, and I said, "No, you're mistaken. It's written."
Holy moly!
The coordinator.
So if I answered, she was my client at the end of the day. So politically
Right,
speaking, you couldn't say that. So what I do is I say, okay, you know what? It might be in a different country, or I don't know. Why don't we discuss it and give it as a homework for next week? Okay, teacher.
Yeah, you
what?
le diste la vuelta bien chido.
Guess what? Next week, nobody talk about it, and the coordinator stopped bugging me.
Well, I did something even worse, Gerson. When I was like giving my first class after being hired, I have this like the coordinator behind me, and I was teaching, right? And I was nervous even though I was doing my best, and I said the education, right? And he was like, no, you have to teach them the right way is education. Pero así like she was like really posh, no? And I was like, well, from what I know, and according to Merriam-Webster, we have this, and it is education because of the phonetics. So it's not education, it's not education, it's education. So the right word is edu. I know that everybody does that, but not because everybody does that, it means that is correct. So the correct word to say educar is education. And she was like, and I told her, if you don't trust in me, just go to the dictionary, check the phoneme, and you will see that I am okay. So she did not do anything else. So I just continued with the class, and she was actually embarrassed because she trying to put me in the spot, So at the end, I le di la vuelta, and then she was in the spot. So it was really cool. I know it was rude for me, but I knew what I was teaching, so I feel like,
did you still have a job after that?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, because
actually,
at the end, they have the last word,
Exactly.
So.
And actually, she was promoting me like, okay, so I noticed that you were good. So what about if you are a coordinator too? And I was no, hell no.
Yeah,
My old boss used to do that all the time with me, and in front of the class. And he was like, no, 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 you're the teacher, you're wrong. And I was like, okay. So for me, I was like, anyways, but he used to do that in front of the students. But
yeah,
some people like to do that. It doesn't matter if it's the boss. They want to make you look fool because they are better than you. So
don't get angry, Millie. Don't just.
No.
No. Yeah, I could have answered the coordinator in my case. I could have answered, forcefully and straightforward, but she was my client at the end of the day, not directly, but the school hired me, or the school. So I turned around and she stopped bugging me. All right, last one is the Paulo.
Yeah, when the heckler falls back on radical skepticism, you actually believe in DNA, or the rest of the class is obviously hostile to the heckler. It's time to ask the rest of the class, do we move on? They will be grateful.
Yeah,
surely.
because you put in the period.
That happened to me. I was given an advanced class, a conversation class about illness and sicknesses and so forth. No, so we were talking about HIV and DNA and then those kind of stuff. And this guy that was really bugging me, he said, "Do you actually believe in DNA?" Yeah, exactly. I was like, should I answer to this stupid? I mean, and so everybody's like, yeah. I don't know, Pablo. Ya, Pablo, ya, el que sigue, ya. So then it's time to say, you know what? Let's move on. I ignoring you. I don't say that, but basically it's I'm ignoring you. I ignore your comment. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just wasting time.
Yeah.
Te enganchas.
Exactly. Very good. Okay, so far so good?
Yeah.
So I hope you can have, you find useful these strategies for your classes, online classes, or, in physical classroom when we come back. Or some schools are already having, physical classrooms, classes in not primarias and secundarias. I'm talking about English institutions. By myself, I open Saturdays, and I have classes on Saturdays now. But I know I shouldn't have that, Rosario, but it's economy, it's part of the economy.
But if you have all the security things,
yes.
the masks and the everything, I don't see why not. And the distance between students and everything.
Yes, we have.
We cannot be in our houses forever,
But that's what they want. That's what they want.
A ver, Steven. Why don't we move on? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking, here we go.
That was wise. Yeah, that was wise. Okay, my bad.
That's good. All right. So it's 12:20. I don't think we have time for the next topic. It took a little bit too much, but it's let's do this. Read it on home. It's very simple. It's about configurations of the seating arrangements, which is not really applicable right now because we're online. But it's good for us to know when we come back. Okay. So and the different configurations and why this type of configuration is better for certain activities. It's pretty much the topic. So it's very simple. Read at home, and we do next week a review and it's called a brainstorming activity for the topic, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, and then we do together the mock test of the TKT module 1. Okay. All right. Questions? No? Okay, so have a nice weekend. Drink a lot. Party a lot, have sex. Like you, Marta, you're still young.
That's
But-
why.
That's
Not
why.
really, but
Gee. Party a lot. Paulo, how do you feel in the class?
Well, good. I mean, it's my first time here, so I appreciate that you feel that you were very nice with me. So I am very happy, and I am very excited to continue learning and like to start applying all this knowledge in my classes and for the future.
Cool. We all said that at the beginning, so yeah, let's talk
Yeah.
about that like a couple of Saturdays after. No, just kidding.
Yeah, before you were here, he said, be nice to Paulo because it's
Yes.
his first time.
We don't
And
want him to. We don't
We're
want him
not
to
that
cold
nice.
turkey.
We're not that nice.
I don't want to
it,
lose
it
him.
was like be nice with Paulo, and I will give you a 10% discount.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
We wish.
Yeah.
All righty then.
No, we
Have a nice,
haven't.
have a nice long weekend. It's a long weekend, so rest a lot, please.
Okay. By the way,
Bye, guys.
Harrison.
Yes.
Well, I got stolen by, once again. So I know that you put like the courses and like the live class that we're having right now, and like the diapositivas and all the stuff. So I wonder if you can send them again to the group, like I mean the whole all the progress we have been doing, because I
Sure,
would like
I'll resend it.
I would like to brush up on the previous knowledge because I missed like two courses or two classes, so I want to be updated.
No worries, I'll do it in this moment.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it.
Take care. Nice
Take care,
weekend.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.